Who? Me? A philosopher? I don't hold any type of wisdom, I know nothing about life, and I'm no better than the average person. Well, if you're thinking that way, then you're probably on the right path towards becoming a philosopher. Here are some things that you might identify with that actually make you very similar to the ancient Greek philosophers. Let's get started. You question everything, even your own ideas. Philosophy is not what a lot of people think it is. The word itself derives from the Greek verb philo and the noun sophia, which stand for love and wisdom respectively. Philosophers are not wise men who have obtained the truth. They don't have an answer for everything. Instead, they are in search of wisdom, and in order to do so, they question everything. They ask questions loudly or in their heads. They are curious and want to explore new concepts and ideas. If you constantly question the moral values, political ideas, and religious beliefs of your family or local community, this is a sign you are more of the philosopher type. You have challenged your teachers and caregivers. As a kid, you made a lot of adults feel awkward with your questions. All children are curious and bombard their teachers and caregivers with questions, but yours were often considered taboo, and the answers you were given were often because it is how it is or because I say so. Let's see an example. Maybe you were in a class learning about different cultures and religions. You might have asked questions such as, if Jews, Christians, Muslims, and all other believers think the same thing, that they believe in the one true God, how do we know if we are right and they are wrong? Does this sound familiar? Have you ever been told that you ask too many questions? Have you seen your teachers and caregivers remain silent after you have shared your thoughts? Then here is a sign that you might be a true philosopher. You have problems fitting in. Humans are social creatures. We crave the feeling of belonging and fitting in. However, philosophers tend to feel detached from the others around them, and sometimes they get ostracized, especially when they share their beliefs publicly. Socrates is a great example of that, but this rejection from others is rarely so extreme. Sometimes it is just a feeling you might have, the feeling of simply not fitting in. If you think about it, people form groups that are based on ideas and beliefs that they share. They could be religious beliefs, political ideas, or lifestyle preferences. Football fans are also an example of this. People often identify themselves as minimalists, vegans, conservatives, liberals, atheists, Christians, and the list goes on. But what if you struggle finding yourself fitting into a group like this? You might not eat animal products, but you can use the term vegan to describe yourself because you do consume honey. You might be leaning towards the left politically, but you fail to find a political party to follow blindly. And you might disagree with the people you usually agree with when they start canceling someone for their opinions. You find it difficult to agree with every single thing they say. Most of the groups that people form, political, ideological, theological, or any other type, usually have a written set of rules on their core that people abide by. You can call it a dogma, but the philosopher cannot be dogmatic. Some people think you lack confidence. We live at a time that is all about individuality and following your own path. We hear about the importance of confidence, self-love, and self-care. And all of these things are great, but we often see that the fine line between confidence and overconfidence has faded away, and people with narcissistic traits are often rewarded and put on the spotlight. If you go to a job interview, a casting, or any other competitive environment, you may notice that you are required to clearly state that you are better than the other candidates. Not doing so might make you look weak and lack in confidence. If you don't feel that you are necessarily worse or better than others, if you know that there is a lot more to learn and you constantly want to improve, And if you know that all you know is that you know nothing, just like Socrates, you are on the right path. If you are always right and you know it, you should consider philosophizing. You end up in debates and play devil's advocate. As we already mentioned, people crave to be loved and accepted. Sometimes we agree with people and avoid arguing for the sake of being accepted. If you love debating, sometimes for the sake of debating, and you're not afraid of arguing, this is a sign that you are a philosopher. Although you might debate passionately, you are never really sure whether you are right or wrong. Debating is more like role-playing, and sometimes you play devil's advocate and try to defend ideas that you strongly disagree with. You find yourself debating with yourself, and when you debate with others, you listen to what the other person has to say. You might also have noticed that your ideas and beliefs change constantly, and you might fall apart with people who think that you are not the same person anymore. You influence others, and you are open to be influenced. If you can identify with this as well, you are a true philosopher. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to subscribe and see other videos like this in the future. You can also like, comment with some recommendations for future videos, and share this video with a friend who might find it interesting. It was a pleasure sharing this video with you, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!